Feel your touch from across the room. I taste your energy. I see a light that I never knew. You are overtaking me, mesmerized, paralyzed. When your eyes find mine, that's when you leave me. Ocean lost, the world drifts around me. Ocean
Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to another hangout for Neosland, the game that we worked hard on designing, and we are just about to the point where we're going to be able to play it. Hello, Jacques. Bresh is excited. Uh-oh. The screen resolution changed on the hangout. Oh, I'm so bummed. Now it doesn't look right. Goodness. Okay, there we go. I kind of faked it. Fixed it. So, Jacques, welcome.
Hi.
Good to see you here again.
Yeah.
And it's been a little while. It's been, what, 6-7 weeks since the last show? Something like that?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we've been pretty busy, so we've been very quiet.
Yeah, so what has had you guys so quiet? What kind of progress have you guys made?
Well, the biggest thing that we had was the voxel systems that we were using, right? The building, we had to make sure that we had a proper system and everything that works perfectly. And before we had the building tools test run for people, and we had a bunch of problems with that, so we had to move away from that system and literally redo a whole new voxel system that could work properly for an MMO game. So we're pretty excited. We actually got to a stage now where we actually have it. You know, it's like a full infinite world. You know, you can log into it. You can build wherever it saves automatically. Well, saving was the biggest problem with the other one.
Oh yeah,
also.
that other voxel system, we could see the potential in it, but it was horrible.
Yeah, I know. We had problems with that. That was a system that we used from the Unity Asset Store. So, you know, it was hard also working with the developer, you know, that was developing it. So we ended up doing our own thing. Mm-hmm. That's why we've been so quiet. And, like, the biggest thing is also we were planning on a alpha release end of this month, but because we had to redo our voxel system and everything, that's going to be moved another month ahead. So alpha will be open. We will start with some alpha testing end of February.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, tell me what we should expect on the alpha testing. Are we, you know, some games just kind of go live and they stay in operations at that point, or are you just going to go up for a little period of time, do some testing, come back down? What's your plan?
Yeah, so what we'll be doing is we'll be starting with a sequence of tests. We'll allow people into the world, you know, that's got pledged and stuff like that, so they can play for on a weekend basis. So the world will open up on a Friday and then close on a Sunday. You can play around, you know, we'll be testing certain aspects of it. So everything won't be available right off the bat, you know, and then we'll take a 2-week period to refine anything that was bugged and stuff like that, you know, and then we'll open it up again. I think we're looking at about 4 or 3 tests like that, you know, every time everything will be wiped and it'll be like a start from scratch, just for testing all the different systems and so on. And then after that, then we'll move to the more solid alpha version. So you know, it will be where you can play and move from there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so we get to go in and try and break it.
Yeah, pretty much that's what we want to do. You know, with the voxel, because it's such a massive world and everything like that. You know, it's very important that we have to test when. The amount of people that's building on it, you can only do so much testing in-house, so you have to do a certain amount of testing, you know, with people building and testing things and seeing if they can break it, because there's a lot of information gets sent up and down.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you used the term like infinite world. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, when we say infinite, we will have a most probably a limit to it. Not the fact that we want to put a limit to it, that it's not viable with the software and stuff like that. But to form a community and so on, you don't want to make it so big that people get lost basically in it. If it's infinite, they won't have any. You could run and then you'll end up in a place and you'll never see anybody else. So that defeats the whole object of a MMO game, basically. But infinite in the sense of we'll put some boundaries to it and it'll be very, very big, like an extremely massive world.
And it'll be expandable at
any time. Yeah.
There's another game out there, and I can't remember what it's called, but they seek to replicate the landmass of the size of the Earth. And people start the game at different areas, and everybody's caveman whenever they start. And they're going all the way through space age. I think it's an 11-year plan to reach space age. 11 years our time.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about there, it seems to me that, some cavemen in the United States or where, North America is, some cavemen in South America. I mean, come on. 11 years, we'll never see each other.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's the biggest thing. And also, what we want to do in this hangout, I just wanted to go over a few systems. Now that we have our terrain system in place to exactly know what we're going to be able to do and so on, we can actually start putting some guidelines and things down at how everything is going to be working. So just to go through how the process will work for building and claiming your land and so on. It's going to start off with claim scrolls. So you'll have you can get a claim scroll. It's certain size chunks of it. Will depend on the amount of size of the claim scroll and so on. Then you can travel through the world till you find a suitable place where you can put your claim down and claim the land. It depends. Not everything will be open for claiming because we wanted to keep certain areas apart also. And also depending on the resources, because when you gather resources, you'll be able to run around and then find, say, for instance, a copper vein or something like that in the ground. Then you can actually dig it out. You can edit, like basically, you can gather resources anywhere in the world. There's no limit to it where it spawns. But as you dig it out, you'll create a hole, for instance, in the terrain. So over time, the terrain will replenish and fill itself up again to come back to normal. But you can't get those type of resources. We've changed it so that you don't. You might be able to get it on your claim, but the resources won't respawn to prevent people from basically claiming over the resources and keeping it for themselves.
So like mineral resources and stuff, you're going to have to go out and adventure and work a mine that basically is public.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So I can go and kill them and take their stuff?
Yeah, well, let's go further now. So you got your claim scroll now, right? And you say you claimed your land now. Then from there, you have to place down a construction orb.
Okay.
It's similar like a stockpile. So before you can do any construction on your land, you have to put a construction orb down, and then you have to deposit your materials and stuff you've gathered in the world into it. Of course, our system for our inventory works on a weight system. You won't be able to just have all your materials available right away. So, say, for instance, you gather it and you put it in a bank in a town. Then you have to travel, get somebody to bring it for you, or you have to bring it yourself to your construction orb before you can use it in construction.
Okay.
So once you do that, that also allows, if you had more friends and so on to build with you, or somebody that wants to give you some materials and stuff, they can just deposit it into the construction orb also.
So we can work together and and transfer the resources quicker.
Yeah,
also safety in numbers.
Yeah, and it also it's also like a storage system, right? So you can store it there. But that also means that people that can come around maybe and break into your construction orb, can steal the materials from it as well. So you have a little bit of risk involved in it too. So you can either build around it, close it off or whatever. So it's going to be interesting how people play with that.
Yeah, that'll be that'll be Tron's central processing unit. Evil, was that you saying something?
Yeah, thanks for the fish, Marky.
Oh, yeah.
Great materials.
I'll get you back. I got a big
Gotta
hook
find
to
me
catch those
first.
fish.
So another thing that we also wanted to talk about was skill systems, right? So the skills are going to play a bigger role in building and so forth. Like we had some skills that we started off on a skill tree a while ago that we looked at, and we're going to keep most of them. One, for instance, like scaffolding. Scaffolding, depending on what skill level you are on scaffolding, will depend on how high you can build actually on top of the terrain.
Oh,
So
interesting.
you won't be able to just build whatever you want. You know, it's going to have everything is going to be whatever you're doing in your building is going to be corresponding with whatever skill levels you have in certain things.
And so either I've got to have the skills, or now I can have a friend that has the skills to come and help me
Yeah.
with it, or hire somebody or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. Also, like bricklaying, that's going to be another one that will increase the speed that you build. So, placing a block down won't be like we had in a blueprint tool. When we do the final release, it won't be just placing it down and that's done in an instant. It will have a time period on it. So depending on what your bricklaying is, for instance, we'll see how fast you can place these things down and change it that way also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Will that also affect quality as well?
Quality, no. What we're going to be doing is materials is going to determine your quality of your building. So it depends on what type of materials you build with. That will have a set quality rating to it.
So use gold bricks, and then I'll come and knock down your walls, and I'll take away your gold.
Marky. Iron.
Mm.
Iron walls are good.
They rust.
So those are the things that we got in place. We're busy finalizing now. Also with the tools, we added a few more tools. We'll be bringing out a video in just after the show that will come live, showing a little bit of the terrain and so on, and a few interface changes and so forth. That will be, I think, in about half an hour after the hangout here. After we finish here, we'll have it online on YouTube.
Okay.
Showing the tools and stuff. And
I did get a chance to see that. And there is some new stuff in there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the tools we had before, we had the building where you can build up, placing blocks down. You had the digging, you could dig into the terrain. We also had undo and so on, but we also added a new one. It's repair. So say for instance you build on a terrain and you want to go back to the original how the terrain looked before.
Mm-hmm.
You can use that tool and it basically repairs the terrain to how it was before. We also have instant saving and loading. So that changed. It's all done very quickly, instantly. You don't even notice the difference. So it allows other players to see what you're doing and building and so forth. So that was, like I said, that was our biggest hurdle to cross, and we got that working no problem.
Looks like we're having a little bit of latency in the connection here.
Yeah, I did not understand a word he just said.
Yeah, last couple sentences.
Okay, I'll just say it again. So we got a load and save.
Okay.
Working properly now, as that was our biggest problem we had before.
And the load and save, is that just for testing, or is that for building designs? Making new blueprints.
Well, that's pretty much for everything. So if somebody, say you go and mine minerals and you're busy digging out to dig a hole into the terrain, what happens is we have to be able to send that information to other players immediately, right? So that they could see it happening as it happens. And also we can use that same system for combat, to do destructible terrain. So if somebody shoots a fireball or something, it will blow up part of the terrain and everybody would see it. So that is all, and as well, it also responds with blueprints and so on. So what you'll be doing is you'll be able to build now a house and so on. You can select a certain area, and you can save that specific area that you selected. So if you select the whole house that you just built, you can use that as a blueprint and come back later on and rebuild it if somebody broke into your house, or you could actually sell it to other people to build their houses basically instantly.
That sounds great.
Hey, Jacques, I'm going to make a suggestion. How about you turn off your camera in case the latency is on your end, and we'll see if we can hear you better.
Okay.
And we'll just have to deal with your little blue man picture. But I'd like to hear you better.
That is.
It does sound better, actually. Yes. So we like to see you on camera, but we also like to hear what you're saying. So.
Yeah, that's good for me too.
Oh, okay.
It's much clearer.
Yes. So, okay, now with what do you envision that we will be doing in the first test?
In the first test, we would like to have it so that people can build pretty much wherever they want, and do the land claiming and saving their builds and so on. So if you start building on, say for instance, the Friday, you can end up building a nice little place, and by the weekend, you can show people around and so on it, and have your own little land claimed. We're going to try and get resources in as well, so gathering resources. But if we don't get that in, we'll have it available unlimited amounts, so you can actually use whatever. So that'll be the first one. Obviously, the first test will also be testing the server, making sure everybody syncs up with everybody else. There's no problems in installing the game and so on. So there's a few things that we'll be testing in the first run.
Now I have one person in our network who is very interested in the game, and he wants to know at what point there will be a Mac client.
Mac we haven't tested it totally, but it will definitely be not a far stretch to actually get that working. There's a good chance that it could be in the first alpha version that we test as well.
So I should. Do you guys have Macs in your development? For your development machines, or should I hook him up with you?
Yeah, you could maybe send him through. We've got a Mac that we can test stuff here, but the more the merrier.
Okay, Al, I'm talking about you, buddy. So, okay, now there's something else here too, which in the Hangout you're not seeing it, but on the live stream there's a new logo and kind of a meaner, more scary look to everything. Can you tell me about the change from this all nice, fluffy green to this cold steel and red and blood?
And no apostrophe. Woo! Oh, sorry.
So we did a few changes and everything like that, and because we got a lot of feedback, and most people were looking at like PvPing and so on. We tried to change the way and the feel of the game a little bit to make it a little bit more darker. So I don't know. I posted a update on the new login scene that I think it's in the background there too. So we have a bit of a story that's behind everything here also, which will be revealed at a later stage on why you are in this world and where you came from and what happened. So that all corresponds with what the story is going to be going about.
Now I have another question that I've been seeing, which is about the epic pig. How are things looking on the epic pig?
No, we're definitely making a special pick for you. So
okay.
that might get his way in at alpha as well. You never know.
Yeah.
He's a very hard pick to catch. We have to look for him every now and then. He likes to hide away from us.
And then I will feed him more artifacts, and he will hunt down the Marquis.
Yeah. So, okay. So
also,
go ahead.
I just want to say also, when we release that update video after, like in an hour's time after the show, you'll see that we show a little bit of a dragon dog. There was a community event that we did where the community came together, did some live Twitch show where one of our concept artists was drawing concept So the community said what they wanted, and that's actually in the game already. So you can see how it looks right from concept to in-game.
Yeah, and that was one of your live shows that you did, wasn't it? With your artist.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So that's exactly where the community added in what type of creatures they want and how they wanted to make the changes into it, and that's how we ended up with that.
Cool. And this is for people who don't who this is their first encounter with the game or whatnot. This game was very much community designed, and we went through a whole process of a whole bunch of things, the questions that we asked and got answers and discussed those and talked about what would work well, what wouldn't, and really gave you guys at NeoJack a bunch of directives of things that we wanted, and then when you guys said, we can't do that, we said, figure it out. And I think you guys have in many cases. So,
yeah, a lot of things I think is going to be in there when it's released, that's for sure. We're definitely working on making sure everything looks perfectly in sync with each other.
Okay, so Abresh, Evil, Oleg, any of you guys who are here have any questions?
When can we play?
That's going to be alpha. Is going to be the first alpha will be close to the end of February, so
Nice.
we'll do a final announcement on it. But yeah, we definitely want to get people in there and playing around, especially with the building systems. And after that, I think the next one after that, we want to try and start getting in claiming other people's land and getting that PvP feel to it, and a little bit of combat into it also, so we can start testing those things too.
I have only one question.
Sure.
With all your infinite terrain, what about performance?
No, that's what we're going to be testing. At the moment with the voxel system, it's really, really, really good. Depending on what the video card you have, only video card that's the worst obviously out there is the Intel actually. If you only have an Intel video card, you're getting about 25 to 30 frames, which is still doable. You can still run around and do things with it. It's not too bad. But anything other video cards, they average about 60, 70 frames, depending on what you're playing at and so on.
Cool.
That works.
Yeah, no, that was our biggest problem, to make sure that we could come over a hurdle to come over. So we really took a bit of time with that. That's why I say we've been so quiet. We didn't want to say anything until we had a final version that we could actually say this is exactly what we have and not speculate on it.
Gotcha. Now, for the Break the World test, are we all going to come into this with max skills for the purposes of testing this, or are we going to be stuck with the minor skills for...
That depends on the test there, right? So the test phases will be different. Most probably, I think the first two tests, I don't think we'll have any skill-based system in place already, to test.
Gotcha.
So as we release things, we want to test them before we, make a final verdict on them. But I think like the first one we'll give people the abilities to build and so on, claim the lands if we get all that going. And then we just want people to claim land and build, keep building and doing things, and see if we, dig as far as you can, get in the ground, try and dig into somebody else's land, maybe claim land right next to each other, try all these different things so we can see if there's problems with it.
So, okay, so for purposes of people getting into the game, they can do it straight through your website, neosland.com?
Yeah. So we still have our pledge system going there. Closed alpha testing will only be for people that pledged already. So those people that's been playing with the building tools and so on as well. So that's the way to get into it. We won't. I don't think we're going to have a server release like we did last with the building tools. This will be all downloadable client. So the new account system that we're busy. We still have a few hiccups with it, with profiles and so on. We'll be fixing that very soon. And with the new account system, we'll just be downloading it right from your from the NeoJack main website, which is where the store and all that account stuff is. So you'll just be able to log into your account there and just download it when it comes live. And then if there's an update, once you have the client, the server will be on and off. So basically, if there's an update to the client, you'll just do a new update to it and patch it, or otherwise you'll still use the same one that you downloaded before every second weekend that we do testing.
Okay.
Now, for the pledging, I did the love pledge. I need to donate more to get in on the testing, or where does that stand? How much? What's the minimum you need to pledge?
The minimum to get into testing is $25. So it's not. I think you're already there.
No, I'm not there yet. I've been busy making some changes to my business over the past month and a half, and I just haven't had a chance to donate. So I'll get up to the $40 minimum, and then I'm going to try to get back up to the $120.
Yeah.
So
another thing also, like we got two things we're working on, just to mention it, for those people that's pledged for the developers package and the tourism package. We have the engine that we're using, making it available to other developers to use on the Unity system. And we've started alpha testing on that. I think it's now nearly a month and a half to 2 months now. And the people that's been using it are very happy, like extremely happy. We had less bugs in it than we thought we would have, so that's a good one. It's good for us to have that come back from it. And so we have a few more MMO games out there. We haven't announced anything yet, but there's a few of them that's actually using our system as well to build their own MMO games. So there's a lot of things happening actually in the company at the moment.
Excellent.
Okay, well, I guess we can wrap this up, unless anybody's got something burning they haven't said yet.
I asked 3 questions in the chat, mostly
Okay.
people that were asking them. If you have time to answer them, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Well, A Pendaco question was, will the game support the 700 series NVIDIA card?
We haven't tested it, but we definitely want to make sure that we can support that, right?
Well, I know that the other client supported it because I'm running a 770.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. From Cydric583, is Valve Steam Machine and subsequent Linux a thing that you are going to look into?
Valve Steam Machine. Oh, I'm not very familiar with that actually.
They're brand new, that's why.
Yeah.
Steam is basically releasing a series of gaming machines to compete with Xbox and PC.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's a good chance that we'll be supporting that as well, right? So, of course, our original plan is to end up taking Neos to consoles as well. So it's going to be a wide range of different platforms that we're going to be releasing it on, and we will be on Steam as well. So it will be available on Steam also.
All right, and the last question is from Inc. Are there any plan to support player-created add-in for user interface, such as texture pack?
Not at the moment, but in the future, there's a good chance that that's going to be implemented as well. So, because we want to make it as customizable as possible for people to have a good experience when they use it.
Sounds good. Abresh, thanks for fielding those questions.
Anytime.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you.
So just before we stop, I just wanted to make sure we mention that if you guys want to look at the new video that will be released, it will be about half an hour to an hour on our YouTube channel. So you can see it there, and we also make an announcement on our forums.
And the YouTube channel is Neosland, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, and if you're watching this on video, then on my channel, then there is a link in the description to the new video. It's already out. So, okay, well, thank you, Jacques. I'm very happy to see the progress. It's very nice looking, and I am well, I mean, because I've seen the other video that we're referring to, and I'm looking forward to playing. So, well, I guess testing it first, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
sounds good.
Okay, thank you again, everybody, and until next time, everybody, take care.
Later, Marky.